Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back in Tavern Talk. It's Kelly, by the way, if you didn't know. We're carrying on with the 34th of Astral Moon. It's called the Wheel of Fortune, which is another tarot card, which I thought was kind of cool. So, yeah, I think we're just gonna jump right in. Looks like it's raining today. This is gonna be a long episode, I think, so let's do this. Melly? Archie? Good morning, Innkeeper. Good morning. How's your research going? Well, we did a lot of it. That sounds good. Yes. I can smell a breakthrough right around the corner. Are you writing that down, Archie? What? No, of course not. No notes being taken here. None. Archie, I told you already. I might be the bestest detective in Fasoa, and this might be the meeting of a lifetime. But the investigation has to come first. How are you going to have time to write a book about my detective career if the world ends in a few days? I mean, it won't, obviously. Because our friends are super strong and awesome, and we're super smart and awesome. But we should still focus on backing them up. I'm sorry. I can't, seems I can't help but gather material, even now. You're a very impressive detective, and I fear what will happen if I stop thinking about my books. Is this what I think it is, Detective Melina? I'm afraid it is. Excuse me? It's a severe case of nerves. Quick, Innkeeper, we need a remedy. Only your most revitalizing drink will do. Does the patient agree with the prescription? Really, it's not that serious. Thank you. Perhaps a cure that'll boost my toughness is just what I need. On it, patient zero. Alright. Let's try not to mess up this time, like we did with our visitor last time. I can't believe I gave him the wrong drink. I'm just flabbergasted that happened. I don't know why, but I saw the intellect symbol, or the charisma symbol, and immediately thought intellect. Bit of a disappointment, you know? Ooh, we haven't done a Frosted Lagoon in a while. Let's do this. Ooh, I probably need, like, something. That won't do. That won't do either. That'll do. There we go. 2, 3. And that, and one of these. Frosted Lagoon. Actually, I probably could have made that without the infusion. May this drink not be one of your tougher challenges. This is excellent. I could write a novella about the superb taste alone. God, I can't believe that freaking bird was in here that whole time last time. Well, the whole time since the very beginning. Little spy in our midst. I really appreciate the effort to cheer me up. I suppose I've been worrying more than I realized. How can I repay Rishmay? You should just bear your worries silently. You shouldn't just bear your worries silently. No, you should actually, Archie. I would accept an update on your research as compensation. Certainly, we are happy to oblige. I thought my knowledge of tales and myths would serve us well in identifying another weapon to slay evil. So I questioned as many scholars and turned as many pages as I could. That sounds exciting. It might have been if I had managed to find even a hint of anything useful. Excalibur is nothing but a legend. The Lance of Loringus might be real. Loringness might be real. but it proved impossible to trace its location. And don't even get me started on the history of the sword Balmer. My research ended up in total failure. Don't say that. We wouldn't know that there aren't any other weapons if we hadn't looked. It just means we have to move our research focus to something else now. Like my investigation. Oh? Like I mentioned the other day, I really wanted to look into who this weird guy is. With a plan like his, he can't just be some random nobody. His plan does have a certain je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi! It's just so mustache-twirlingly malicious. I bet he has a mustache. The innkeeper is like... In any case, he must have left some traces that we can follow. If we can figure out his real identity, we'll know his mortal weakness. Like... Ooh. Exactly! I don't know which one I clicked. I was so excited. I just clicked a random one. Someone who wears that much armor must have something underneath. So we'll just have to wait until he takes it off. Once he takes a bath, we should... Actually, I don't think that's a good idea after all. Still, Carolyn says the more you know about your opponent, the easier the victory. But this guy is like a ghost. No one has seen hide or hair of him since before all this started. And here I thought armor like that would have made him super recognizable, with the flowers and all. I did look up what some of them mean, the ones Clay was able to identify. There are petunias and marigolds, which symbolize resentment, anger, grief, and mourning. So that told me absolutely nothing, besides that he's a bad guy with some big feelings about the world. Duh. Then I got an idea. What about other well-known necromancers? Maybe we have a repeat offender on our hands. No one really seemed to fit, though. I was really, really close to ripping my fur out. But then I remembered all that stuff about the sigils. There actually was a necromancer that died when the portals opened. So I dug that file out of my pile, and yes, if the creation of the portals broke a sigil, then that can't be coincidence. Therefore, this necromancer from back then must have faked their death and rebranded themselves as the mustache-twirling green-armored guy that we're facing now. Shouldn't you be doing the pointing thing right now? I'm just not feeling it, Innkeeper. I know it doesn't add up, okay? I'm sorry, Archie. This isn't the revelation of truth that it should be. When you write a book, the detective should definitely be pointing at something. Pointing! Yes, I'll write that down. Good. Bleep! Melly! Watch your mouth, girl. I can't believe we couldn't find anything! Who taught you that word, Melly? Wouldn't you like to know? Oh well. What are you planning on doing now? We need new perspective. Maybe there's something we haven't considered yet. I'm shocked no one saw him come into the tavern. That's what I think is gonna get us. Somebody will have seen him come in. But we'll see. I thought maybe it would be Melly, but obviously it's not Melly. Maybe Fable? Where is Fable? We haven't seen them in so long. Did I miss that last line? No. That's why we brought some of our research materials with us. Wouldn't a library be better for this? Well, maybe, but there wouldn't be enough space to set up the conspiracy board. You brought the board here? Yep. Thanks for letting us set up here. Okay, I'll be in the back. Bye! I hope it's okay for us to take up some of your space. It's fine, Archie. You can go ahead. Much appreciated, Innkeeper. Hey, there's Una. Well, don't you look chipper. It's good to see you too, Una. You could spare me the pleasantries. Long day? Nah, I just never really... I was just never really into all this research mumbo-jumbo. I was surprised when I heard you volunteered for the research group. Ha! Your info-gathering game is getting weak, Innkeep. I just chose the activity that's least hassle. Too much exercise isn't good for the retirement spirit. But I don't need to tell you that, do I? Before you get another word out of me, though, I'll need something to get my energy back. That whole frantic research atmosphere really tired me out. Something to bring your strength back? Got it. Okay. Boom. What does the hot chocolate give us, actually? Oh, it's speed. Another speedy drink. Okay. There we go. Okay. 2 strength. We already got a defense. We need a charisma. Southern brawler. Oop. There we go. Sailor's courage. Here, for all the heavy-duty crocheting you're doing. I feel like I could crochet gloves for an entire army with this. You got some more adventures stashed away in those back rooms of yours? Just some more frantic researchers, I'm afraid. So what else have you been up to? Just making sure Grace and Scully don't work themselves into an early grave for the most part. Any news on that front? Are you in the mood to be underwhelmed? Listening to what my patrons want to share, whether good or bad, is a key part of my job. Spoken like a good little innkeep. As for their research, not many surprises there, to be honest. The damage that breaking the sigils did is pretty much irreversible, as expected. That teleportation spell Grace is looking into is also not getting any less dangerous. Even with all the modifications she's making, there's still a good chance of it backfiring. And by good chance, I mean like 70%. What kind of backfiring are we talking about? Like, everything blows up in fireworks? No. Like, immediately dying. Oh. How are Scully and Grace feeling about everything? They're taking it in stride, or they're just too stubborn to give up, I'm not sure. That sounds like them. Aw, hello Ranu, how are you, bud? He's doing good. He's so cute. What about you? Me? Oh, this must be pretty disheartening. I mean, not really. These kinds of doomsday scenarios just lose their impact after a while in this business. I've lived my life, I've made my choices. Now I'm just doing what I want either way. If the end of days comes knocking and I'm on my porch crocheting and drinking, I'll have no regrets. But you're not on your porch. You're here, looking after the people, trying to avert that doomsday scenario. Aw, poor Una. Arak, I can't believe I had to hear that from you. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I could offer you another drink to wash it down. No, thanks. Unfortunately, you've got a point. I guess I got swept up in all this a little. Sure is weird. What is? Caring. Not like I need to elaborate, preaching to the choir and all that. I don't know what you're talking about. Ha! Sure, whatever. Let me just ask you this. As you are, will you have no regrets when all of this is over? You couldn't just let me have the last word, huh? No way in error. I'll leave you to contemplate that, I guess. Armelli and Archie here. In the back. I'll go see if the young'uns need some company. Okay. Hey guys, sup? Greetings, I mean good mythical afternoon adventurers. Uh-oh. Good afternoon, Innkeeper. Does this afternoon seem mythical to you? It seems... what? Sorry about that. We didn't have much time to draw off before coming here. The floorboards should be able to endure it just this once. It's okay if you want to leave now, Baya. We made it back safe. Okay. But please keep the blankets. I could make you some soup. We should be good for now. Thanks, Baya. Where are you headed, Baya? The swamp. I want to talk to my friends. I see. Goodbye. Let a tree know if you need any more help. I'll come. Stay safe, Baya. Uh-oh. This does not look good. Spit it out already. You've been chewing on this ever since we escaped from that mountain. It's just... I feel bad, alright? So... that doesn't sound good. Isn't that pretty obvious? Right. More importantly, have the others come back yet, Innkeeper? They haven't. It's a waiting game then. Great, my favorite. Alright, Innkeep, this is where you come in with the drink. I'm going to explode if we keep brooding like this. We're not allowed... we're not that rogue fella. Which of my drinks would be of aid? Not sure what could help soften the outcome of our quest, but maybe protection from disappointment? That might do. Certainly. Okay, so it went badly. Now I wonder if that's a result of anything we did, or what? Sure. 2, 3. One of those. And 2 decks. First snow. Why does it do that sometimes? Boom. I hope your disappointment will be just like it's a different ding sometimes than others. I hope your disappointment will just be a distant memory after this drink. Thanks, this takes the edge off. Didn't realize my shoulders were so tense this entire time. May I offer you two a drink as well? I'm fine, for now. Count me in, Innkeeper. I don't really want to think about it, but perhaps understanding where we failed wouldn't be a bad idea. I'll see what I can do. Intellect. Alright, let's do, one of these. Why not? One of these gives +2 intellect. Which one is it? This one. Yeah, see? That's a different ding. This might be just what you're looking for to understand the meaning of everything. 42. What? Weird, I don't know where that came from. Oh, good reference. But this is good. My synapses are firing at the speed of light. Here's my conclusion. We might be really, really bleeped. Was it that bad? You don't even know the half of it. Wait, this can't just be it, right? Grace and the others should have figured something else out by now. You probably already have some quests in store for us. For plans C, D, and X? I wonder if it has something to do with, like, the necromancer having heard all of their planning from the bird, and he probably, like, interceded, right? Maybe it was always gonna fail regardless. Archie and Millie couldn't find any new leads, and Grace and Scully are still at it, but from what I've heard, they haven't found much either. That's... Come on, Innkeeper, stop joking around. I don't think this is very funny. Neither do I. Then what are we even doing here? What? If the Innkeeper doesn't have any quests for us, why are we wasting time here? If you haven't noticed, the world might be ending soon. We failed to create the world-saving weapon. And now we're here to what? Have a nice chat? Oi, you're mighty close to overstepping there, wizard. Well, maybe someone needs to say it instead of just lazing around. Hex. Sit your arse down. This is no time to lose your cool. We aren't just here to chat. Information about the group that went to the Twilight Chasm will reach this in first. At this point, we need to know their fate. It would be foolish to go running around without a plan. So, are we cool? I'm sorry. Not exactly a good look for a wizard to lose his head, is it? As long as you realize that yourself. While we wait for the others, I guess it's time for another story, Innkeep. I'm looking forward to getting some context. Right. After a chat, the other day, Kyle and I went to pick up Hex. We said goodbye to Kyle. He cried. Then he left for Merrill Castle. Soon after, Karen and Bea picked us up. They just stepped out of a tree right next to us. Bea was pretty excited to take us to the Highlands. Apparently she pen pals with the Yeti, and she's never gotten the opportunity to visit. And then, whoosh! Whoosh? Yeah. 1 minute we're surrounded by nice lush woods, the next, vast mountains. Snow. A lot of snow. You guys suck at descriptions. Our journey to the Highlands was so fast, it was barely noteworthy. It was impressive. I mean, sure, evocation is obviously the superior school of magic. But I suppose such a feat of conjuration was pretty cool, even though nothing blew up. And then you had to keep babbling to Bea about it until we reached the village. Well, Grace would have killed me if I didn't ask for details. While the view was great, we were pretty disoriented. Even when we found the village Clay told us about, no one could point us towards the temple. Kara knew she was... Kara looked like she was getting ready to throw people around if they continued saying they couldn't help us. It was clear no one knew anything. Even though we still had no idea where to go, we left the village. That's when Bea let out this gut-wrenching scream. It sounded kind of like this. I'm gonna save you guys that. Thanks, I really appreciate you replicating that scream. But why? Hey, you guys insisted I stay to tell the tale. Millie! Did someone die? Oh, hi, Linny. Oh, Linny. That's cute. Good to see you, Melly. No one died. Hex just got a little too excited. Whoopsie. I see. Well, make sure not to scream like that anymore. Or no one will know when you really need a detective on the scene. After all, you don't want to be the next boy who cried detective. I'll keep that in mind. I'll go back to the board then. Melly. You know, any scene with Melly in it is just better for it. So, Bea let out a scream. We had no idea why she did, but before she could explain, we heard some loud footsteps approaching. It was hard to see with the heavy snowfall. That huge silhouette was making its way towards us. Kara almost tore into it as soon as it got close. But before we knew it, Baya rushed forward. I almost attacked Baya's pen pal, who actually met the abominable Yeti. Really nice fella. Also pretty good with directions. They pointed us toward the temple. When they did, I noticed their well-crafted ring made of something like opal. Couldn't help but ask them about it. Turns out they got it from the temple. That really got the Yeti talking. We learned a bunch about the temple's jewelry-making business. And about how anyone approaching the stronghold unannounced would be seen as an enemy. Which is a horrible way to run a business. Yeti explained that only a select group of trusted people are allowed on the premises. They didn't want to help us get in, though. Something about getting their jewelry buying rights revoked. But at least we knew the way, and soon, with that invisibility kicking in, we saw it before us. Lo and behold, the Temple of Ur, where the flame of Leviathan is kept. Yeah, that's crazy. The Temple of Ur, where the flame of Leviathan is kept. Weird. Sounds blasphemous. The trek up there was brutal. It was so much walking I thought my feet were gonna fall off. It wasn't that bad, really. The winding path looked nice with all the sparkling snow. That's easy for you to say. You just vaulted right over all that rubble. Guess we did get to the gate eventually. It was closed, of course, a gigantic, wet slab of stone in weathered condition. If there's one thing I know about this sort of thing, it's that gates like that, like this one, are super inconvenient. Good thing we didn't want to waltz in through the main gate anyways. No, with the invisibility effect from your drinks still active, we started to check in on other points of entry. There was so much rubble we figured it must have been somewhere for us to slip through. Well, there wasn't. And I was already starting to feel the itch of invisibility wearing off. We were running out of time. Come on, tell the Innkeeper what you decided to do next. We might have tried to scale the temple walls. We made it close to the top, but then the stones started to crumble right under our hands. X was the first to fall, but it didn't take us long to follow. Though, it's a good fall with a wizard that can cast a spell to slow our descent rather than break our necks. And here I thought you guys just wanted a big group hug. If you want more group hugs, maybe cast that spell earlier than 5 feet before hitting the ground. Oh sure, I'll try to practice spellcasting while falling at terminal velocity more for next time. Well, you did manage to manage it before we turned into a big pile of adventurer soup. If only we had managed to land literally anywhere else. I didn't even know creatures that big lived out there. Me neither. Right next to us, where we had thought there was snow-covered mountains, as big as, an eye as big as Care opened. It was the guardian of the temple. It slowly lifted its massive head, and we realized that the mountain path we had been walking on earlier was no path, but the body of a Gwyrv. Its snake body slowly unfurled from around the temple. While shaking the snow off itself, it revealed its pure white, iridescent scales. For a few moments, it stared us down. Giant opal embedded between its eyes shone with every color imaginable. What I wouldn't have given to work with an opal of such fine quality. It's good to hear you guys had a mythical moment there. But I, for one, was worried about the overgrown snake with wings. The Gwyrv unfurled its wings from where they had been tucked against its body and rose into the air. An attack position. It struck with such speed we only avoided it thanks to Kara's quick reflexes when she pushed us into the snow. All I could think about was that I didn't want to fight it. Not again. When I was getting back into position for another strike, I screamed our intentions out. I couldn't imagine the Dragon's Guardian would be indifferent to our objective. It didn't seem to care much about it, though. Or it didn't hear us. I didn't want to give up. We had to communicate with it in a way that it couldn't ignore. So we choreographed an expressionist dance. You did not. No. Oh, thank God. Not really. But that would have been a lot funnier. In any case, instead of trying to fight, I told the others to get moving and get our message across. By writing in large letters in the snow. Ever tried to stomp out letters while a giant reptile is attacking you, Innkeeper? Heck of a core workout. I think I developed muscles where no muscle should ever develop. Okay. Don't really know how to unpack that one. Watch out, you might become the first wizard to complete a push-up. Oh my god, it's good. Did it work? The push-up? No, the writing in the snow thing. Wasn't sure at first, but then the attack stopped. I saw it looking intently at what we had written. Then it launched itself in our direction again, and instead of trying to attack us, it dove into the snow. The ground beneath us started shaking until all of us were suddenly lifted on top of its head. I thought we were ascending to Tuat's realm for a second, not gonna lie. But instead, we were just lifted higher and higher into the air, towards the temple. Soon we could see the tower emerging from the temple grounds. The Guardian must have understood us after all, because it was taking us to the only place I could have imagined the flame to be. Soon we were close enough for us to jump down from the Guardian. And then I saw the altar. Uh-oh, okay. What's wrong? What did you see? That's the thing. We saw nothing. Oh, there was no flame. Nothing. No great flame of Leviathan. He put out the flame of Leviathan because he knew that's what they were gonna do. So it wouldn't have mattered what we gave them. Just a devastated altar. And an empty basin where the flame should have rested. We were so foolish. The clues were already there when we were approaching the temple. All the rubble, the poor state of the building. The flame was extinguished during the flood, long before we ever Oh, okay. Long before we ever set foot in the Highlands. I should have known that an eternal flame was too good to be true. It was such a waste of time. You can imagine our shock at what we saw, Innkeeper. The realization slowly began to settle in. There would be no way of forging that weapon. Nothing to wield against the necromancer. Up there at the altar, everything was so quiet. The priest hadn't reached us yet. There was just the sound of the wind. And the crushing disappointment we were all feeling. The Guardian didn't need to say a word. I understood it either way. Whatever emotions we were feeling, they couldn't compare to the grief in the Guardian's eyes. We eventually were joined by some of the priests who confirmed what we had already surmised. They lost their main object of worship on the day of the flood. At least our disappointment was somewhat softened by a warm meal the priests offered us. I think they felt bad for us. There's community in shared grief. They were pretty interested in that sword of yours as well. Considering everything we've learned in the past few days, the minor divinity of it seems hardly noteworthy. I'll cherish it nonetheless. Maybe I'm also just glad it'll remain a memento of my grandma. It was stupid to think I could try to rival her feats. But I didn't expect you to talk to those priests for so long. I'd never seen you so forthcoming before, Rhea. Ain't exactly every day you get to see that kind of smithing mastery on display. The jewelry those priests were decked out in was wonder to behold. Straight drippin'. No. Please don't. Hey, you won't complain when Aniko says it. That level of craftsmanship is expected of her as people like us. They were really generous as well, practically forced those opals on you. And that blueprint. You're misunderstanding that one, Kara. That was for you. It's a sword blueprint that's been passed down since the conception of that temple. A form worthy of the dragon's might, as they put it. Then they wasted it. I know you won't hear it now, but if you ever feel different, it'd be an honor to forge it for you. We eventually got ready to head back. I was worried about the lack of trees around us, but Baya seemed unbothered. We headed out to the courtyard where slowly but surely she grew a whole tree. Its branches were stark white and covered in gleaming leaves. I asked her afterwards what kind of tree it was, but she just replied that it was the dream of the soil. To know what that meant. The priest looked very touched by its appearance. But we needed to be on our way, so into the tree we went. We stopped by Baya's and then headed here. So that's that. Never had such a depressing walk back to the tavern. Oh, quit your yapping. You were going on and on about this all the way over here, too. That's easy for you to say. After all, you got those gems. Great for your stupid competition. Some of us were a bit put off by the quest failing. Why don't you just come out and say what your problem is? My problem is that you're acting like everything's fine. Uh-oh. Hex? Is that you? What just happened? Did it stop? Seems like it. Is everyone okay? More or less. Yeah. What about Melly and the others? I'll go. Alright. Thanks, Rhea. I'll take my leave. We told our story. There's no other reason for me to stick around. I know this is a hard time for all of us, but I need to go check on Grace. Goodbye, Hex. Wow. I don't even know. Was that him that caused that earthquake, or was that something else? I guess it must have been him. Getting late. There's always room for you upstairs if you get tired, Carolyn. It's fine. I'll keep you company. Things must be really dire if you're offering that. What do they say? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Last Dawn. I just got an achievement. Last Dawn. Uh-oh. Where's Tia? Welcome back. Keep it. Okay. Uh-oh. Where are the others? Nico's outside trying to calm Voy down. We didn't want him to throw up in your tavern. Do you have a panic attack? I hope Tia isn't giving him too hard a time about it. I don't think Tia made it back somehow. Oh no. Play. She isn't, right? No. Where is she then? Gone. She's gone. She left? No, she's dead. That isn't funny. Do we look like we're joking? I'm sorry, that's awful. Yeah, you don't have to tell us that. Is anyone else? No. We got away just in time. That's good. What about Feeble? Did you see them there? In the chasm, maybe? No. We didn't find them. Though, what? I found a bunch of broken arrows not too far from the portal. They were all engraved with pretty flowers. Oh no! I think they were there. They just didn't come back. I hope they're okay. Maybe with a drink they would have been okay. Oh no. What do you mean? You didn't make him a drink and keep? We had a bit of a fight. So you willfully endangered them? I had hoped it would stop them from going. Nothing would ever stop Fable from helping people, you idiot. I realize that now. You should thank the dragons I care more about my friend's eardrums than I care about yelling at you. I already regret it well enough, don't you worry. You better, if anything happened to them. They ended up like Alethea. I know. Me too. You shouldn't have left without her. Her body wasn't exactly cooperative. We couldn't have taken it with us if we tried. Don't call her that. What? An it. Clay. He's right. Have some respect. I'm just saying. Well, stop saying it. All right, you three, calm down. No need to spill more blood. Please. Tell us what happened. What doesn't matter? We abandoned her. That's what happened. We didn't do that. We sure abandoned the world. Our angel would be disappointed in us. It's not like we had much of a choice. You would say that, wouldn't you? What's that supposed to mean? You always run. Of course you wouldn't choose anything else. I ran because I have something to get back to, Clay. So did she. Okay, how about a drink for calming all those nerves? No. Time and place. I'll take one. Need to tell you what happened after all, even though I would rather wouldn't. Got anything to make it that easier? I don't have a joke this time. I hope you'll forgive me. Don't worry, there's no need for trading today. I don't have anything to wash away the regret. But maybe I can get you something to make the words flow easier. Oh, it's a heavy one, you guys. Wow. Okay. What would Alethea approve of? Something with defense. Let's do one of these. One. Ooh. Oops. Here, Andu. Oops. Here you go, bud. 2 defense. Here you go, bud. Here. Thanks for this little taste of normalcy. So I don't really know what to ask. Did you stop him? No. Oh. Leap. He was faster than us somehow. Melly and Bea drew us a map to the portal so we could get there quickly, but when we arrived, we found a note stapled to a tree. It read, "If you value your lives, go home." He knew you were coming? Apparently. Jade and Tia argued about what to do, but we didn't exactly have a lot of options. So we went after him right into the Twilight Chasm. It was... Calling it the Realm of Nightmares seemed like an understatement in retrospect. Wouldn't have made it without Voy. And Tia's light. We ran into the necromancer on his way back. He didn't even catch him before he got to Ur. He looked unharmed. It's ridiculous how easy it must have been for him. In his hands, he held the axe shaped like a dragon's talon, pulsating with magical energy. It was smaller than I thought it would be. Magic weapons tend to be size adjustable. Oh, right. Maybe we would have stood a chance if we hadn't walked right into a cluster of nightmare creatures. I thought maybe they'd be a good distraction for him too, but the necromancer called on them for aid in the chasm's tongue. Boy said he promised them freedom and endless nightmares. And just like that, they sided with him and were up against and we were up against the necromancer, a god's axe, and a horde of monsters. We thought we were well protected. The frost armor, it helped at first, kept the creature's sharp claws at bay, but whenever the necromancer got close to us, close to one of us, he'd cast some sort of modified fire spell at the thing. It melted our armor and most of our defenses. At least we were fast enough to avoid most of the attacks thrown at us. Guess I was right about the speed. It doesn't feel that good, though, without Tia here to hear my I told you so. Fire must have been difficult for you, Dave. It was. I managed not to get caught in it. Until we were pushed to the edge of the Twilight Chasm, back to the portal where we had entered from. That's where he was heading, too, back to Gaia. The others were had already been pushed out by the nightmare creatures, but I was still in his way. When his fire magic hit me in the chest, I stumbled backwards, falling onto the jagged ground. I froze. I wish I hadn't, but fear took hold of me, and I couldn't move. I lay there, charred, bleeding, terrified, and he just looked at me. I thought, this is it. It's over. I'm going to abandon Melee after all. And then, after what felt like an eternity, he just walked away through the portal and left me there, alive. I scrambled after him, of course, after I regained my senses. I don't know why he spared me. Maybe he briefly remembered his bleeping heart. Maybe. It doesn't matter, I guess. When I charged back into the fight, it looked even worse than it had moments ago. Every time a monster went down, he just brought them back up. We couldn't break through, couldn't even get close to him until Clay cut down 4 of them at once, and Tia was quick enough to take advantage of the opening. Suddenly, she was face to face with the necromancer, fighting him one-on-one. Right in the middle of the moon pools under Cassiopeia's light. It's true, you know, you can see all 7 of the moons reflected in the clear waters at once. It would have looked beautiful if it hadn't been for all the blood. I tried to get to her and help, but I kept getting swarmed. Tia's blood is gold. Did you know that? No. And I wish I didn't now. Yeah, me too. I'll spare you all the details. She fell and he struck her again and again until she stayed down. And then... he brought her back. Her body, that is. Our Tia wasn't in there anymore. She would never have fought Clay willingly. I was trying to get to him and she wasn't letting me through. And I couldn't hurt her. She's my best friend. We kept trying to fight, kept trying to channel our anger into victory against him. But I couldn't stop thinking about who was going to end up with empty eyes next. When I heard Clay's scream after Tia cut through his shoulder, I had to do something. So I yelled out for all of us to run. Nico pulled Voy away, clearing a path for us to escape, and I tried to pull Clay away from Tia, away from his death. He's much stronger than me, though. So I called out to Jade for help. For the record, I think we're cowards for leaving, but Tia would have beaten my ass if I'd let Clay die. It was the right decision. You decided to save each other. Tia would have been proud of you. I don't know about that, but at least we're alive. At least you're alive. Jade helped me pull Clay away from the fight and we ran. We ran and we ran until Voy collapsed. And when he got back up, we made our way to your tavern. And now we're here. I'm glad you all made it back, but I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Why did we have to? Why didn't Cassiopeia save us? Save her? The dragons are neutral. The dragons are bleeps. Sure are. The real bleep is the madman who killed her. We have to go back. I don't think that's a good idea, bud. We have to. We have to retrieve her body. He can't have her. Now he can use her to navigate that stupid portal, and she would hate that. She would hate being turned into another monster he can use. Right, because she knows how to use the portal to get to Tuat. Uh-oh. If we can't get her back, we have to at least bring her here to give her a proper burial. We can't do that, Clay. We don't even know where they are right now. If we had stayed, we might. But we didn't. Thanks to you. But is it what... But it is what it is, right? You can't go back, so you can't change anything. We screwed up. We played right into his hands. All this power and strength and magic, and we didn't change anything. Hold on. I'm sure you did your best. What's the point of doing that if it doesn't save anyone? I can't even feel her anymore. The bracelet, it's just empty. There's just an absence where Tia should be. I feel like if we had done something different, if we hadn't been so stubborn, I don't know if you could have changed anything. Why do you sound so sure of that? I think the necromancer, I think he heard everything. What you planned, I mean. How could that even... Oh, so we're going to be a little bit more forthcoming than I thought. Oh man, this is going to turn bad. Oh, it's so bad. Okay. How could that even be possible? After you left the jackdaw near my window, I think it was a spy, and it heard everything. What? How does that even happen? How did you not notice that? I don't know. I'm sorry. All I'm saying, it's not your fault that the plan failed. He outsmarted us. All of us. So there's nothing we could have done. That can't be right. What's the point of all this? If he knows everything, then we might as well just give up. He has Ur's axe. He has an army of nightmare creatures and more. And she's gone. The only person who'd know what to do is gone. We don't have a magic greatsword either. You've got to be kidding me. What? Magic flame was put out by the flood. Bleep. So we've lost. It's over. No. No. He hasn't won yet either. Even if it feels like he has. We're still here, so we can still fight. We can still stand in his way. Hope will only abandon us if we let it. You're right. Us giving up, that's not what she would have wanted. What she wanted was to live, to get a chance to be more than some pointless martyr. I want her back. Clay. No, I don't want to hear anything else from you. You didn't even notice the spying bird in your tavern, or maybe you did, who knows? You're dishonest with us all the time. Do you even really care about any of this? Oh. I'm being put on the spot. Probably rightfully so. I can't afford to care. Oh. I don't know what to say. I think I'm just gonna go all in on the caring, but I care more than you could ever imagine. I wish I could bring her back to you, Clay. Well, can you? No. What help are you then? Screw this. I'm done hearing excuses, and I'm done pretending we'll make it through this. Clay, please stay. Can I have one of those drinks now? Don't want to go after him? If I was him, I'd kill all of us, so no. What kind of drink do you want? I don't know, something fast maybe. Didn't help with the fight, but might help with my stomach. It's worth a shot, I guess. Okay. Make her hot chocolate. Dumping strength. Ooh. Oh, no, that's not right. One of these. And one of these. Fast and quick. Just how I like it. What kind of drinks did she like? Defense all the way. Adds up. Uh-oh, this does not look good. I just got the achievement. Oh. That's weird. It's like split itself into 2 episodes. The second half's the Wake. Still the 34th of Astral Moon, still Wheel of Fortune, but we are now in Act 4.